and welcome to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I am Beth Cooper.
And I am Stacey Earlywine, and I'm glad to be here again today.
Yes.
How about you?
Yes, I'm super happy to be here. We have a great show planned, and it's going to be a funny one.
It is a funny one. So we're going to shake things up a little bit today, aren't we?
We are.
Yeah.
We're changing things a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to do a little changing up because we have a lot of fun pictures to show you. I don't even know how do we even get on this show? How did we figure this out?
I don't know. We started looking at old yearbooks and finding some really funny stuff in there. And then we decided, let's do a show on yearbooks.
Yeah.
And then it's like, let's include this. And then, but I want to include this. Oh, we should do some of these. And then before we knew it, we had like 50 photos.
We just have a whole thing of yearbooks. So we're going to visit yearbooks, the Harston yearbook, which is, by the way, one thing I didn't research. How did we get that? Why is it called the Harston?
I have no idea, but I think it is a play on words, and it's a combination of the word harder and the word Stanford, maybe, because those originally the Flora High School was the Harder Stanford High School, Harder Stanford Community High School, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's how they did it. I think it was Harston.
I bet you're right. Man, it's a good thing you're the smart one. You know, one of us has to be the beautiful one and one has to have the brains.
That's right.
Oh my goodness. So, because we have so much to do and we have so much to talk about, we are going to skip our Better Homes and Gardens because we have a ton of pictures for you guys to see today. So, there's going to be a lot of snapshots from we'll talk a little bit about each picture, and then we'll probably come back to us a little bit.
And these are all taken from yearbooks in Clay County.
That's right.
So, well, with the exception of a couple at the very end, but
that's right.
Yeah. So
the doozies at the end.
So these are fun ones. We dug up some old yearbooks from the 1920s.
Yes.
One of them I found at the Clay County Genealogical Society. They are great help. But then also Don Thomas had a wonderful selection of old yearbooks that we looked through.
Yes, our best friend Don Thomas.
That's right. Shout out to Don. He helps us with our research. So.
And I had, I do have my parents' yearbooks, but I couldn't find them, so I reached out to Sandy Haycock.
Okay.
So that's where we got the 1950s through the 57.
Oh, okay.
Because she had hers and she had Mart Haycock's, her husband's. And so we're not going to hit on every one. We just picked out some of the fun pictures. What we discovered is the fact that yearbooks from the past were a lot funner than what we have now.
Yes. Like, we need to bring that back. So, back in the day, like, especially, like, the 1920s, they put everything in there. They would put writing selections that some of the older students wrote, like poetry.
Oh, yeah.
They put short stories in there that had been chosen to be published in the yearbook. And they didn't just, like, show only pictures. Like, they included a lot of text and a lot of, like, just interesting tidbits. The seniors got to do their last will and testament in there.
Which I think that had been done. I remember, who was it? Was I talking to Stephanie Pride? And she said, I think Stephanie went to Robinson. And I kind of remember some older yearbooks having like last will and testaments, what you leave to the next generation.
Yeah, like they would say, like, I will the sophomore class the ability to win at basketball and to be, have a wonderful spring musical and things like that.
I would will somebody my locker on building C or something. You know, follow me and my, how I use my locker and that type of thing. But it was a lot of fun. So I say we dive right in with some of these pictures.
Okay, let's dive in because these are so good.
Okay, so we are going to start with the earliest yearbook is 1928, correct?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, well, let's just go to funny picture number 1, 1928.
Let's take a look at that one.
Okay. So look here's the other thing. They look like, these kids, these are senior in high schools, right?
Right, but they look like they're also 35 years old.
Exactly. Don't they, though?
Bless their hearts. They've already
So I love this one. The guy on the top, his name is Charles Pearson. They called him Charlie. So that's their yearbook picture and their name. And right next to him, you'll notice the fun little sayings. And I love this one. The rest of you may toot the flute, but I the horn do play.
Yeah. They all got to pick their favorite saying, and it was always, and some schools still do that, but I think a lot of them have done away with it because of bullying. I think they kind of have issues with people making fun of other people in their quote. But these were all so true and pure, and really some of them so funny. But Charlie Pearson.
Yeah, and then that Marcella Horsley. She knows the value of time. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's just funny, but
like kind of random. I wonder, I don't know, maybe that meant more than...
I don't know, but I think that's hysterical. The rest of you may toot the flute, but I, the horn, do play. Yeah, so what he's saying is those of us that play the trumpet like yours truly, we rule. Yeah. Just saying. I just insulted every flute player in the world. Oh.
Don't insult flute players.
No. Do you play an instrument?
No.
You weren't in band?
I play the radio.
Oh.
No, I have no musical ability whatsoever.
Oh, funny. Okay, let's go to funny picture, number 2. Okay, so look at this. Oh, my gosh.
We're looking here at the bottom of Janet
Kitley. The last 2. So look at the very bottom picture. Janet Kitley. Look, man delights me not. And the hair, I love the hair. This 20s hairstyle.
The 1920s hairstyle.
You know, we're talking flappers,
and
people.
The big collars. They all had these big collars.
Isn't
and pearls.
Wonderful?
So yeah, Janet Kitley, man delights me not. Do you think she ever married?
You know, I don't know. Janet Kitley.
Shout out to the Kitley family.
The Kitley family.
This is your ancestor.
Well, the other one that's funny, that Mary Stanford, Sweet Sheba.
Which is now going to become one of my favorite sayings. Every time I drop something or somebody surprises me, I'm going to be like, Sweet Sheba.
I love that too, yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, how fun is that?
Okay, so more from the 1928 yearbook, though. We found some familiar faces, at least to some people.
Okay.
What about the one with Bert Dancy?
Coach Dancy.
Yeah,
this is a picture. So you know how the high school you have Dancy Field? This gentleman graduated from a university in 1927, and then he became one of the coaches at Flora High School for 1928, and he remained there. So that's where our football field gets its wonderful name, Dancy Field.
Yeah.
From Coach Dancy. And everything that I have read about Coach Dancy, he was a wonderful, wonderful man. He was tough. He was well respected. They just, he's not a real big guy right there. Of course, none of them really were. But look at the old Flora uniform. How fun is that?
Yes, that's what I wanted to talk about. So what uniform is this? Baseball?
No.
Football?
I would say that
basketball?
From the looks of that, no, it's not basketball. He was a football coach, so I'm going to guess football.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
back then, did they wear helmets?
They wore those really weird leathery looking things.
Okay.
Yeah, they wore those.
And then they played football in boots?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, the football uniforms were quite crazy. They were not protected what we have now. Yeah. And from the pictures that I've seen of my dad, he played football, and most Temp Hills did play football back in high school. And there was no padding. I mean, they just played.
Yeah. Well, good for them. I bet they were tough.
You know they were.
He looks like a super nice guy. So did he lived all of his life here and then passed away in Florida?
I believe so. I don't know where Dancy's buried at. We may have to find that. And I'm not sure where he came from. But but from what I understand, he was a really nice. I mean, because you're talking, and then we'll talk a little bit about Coach Conley here in a little bit. But you're talking the athletic director and a very well respected man in Flora and. I mean, let's face it. If you get the football field named after you, and you get the gymnasium,
that's a big deal.
And you get the auditorium, which God bless Harry Penry, my all-time favorite teacher. I adore that man with everything, and they finally named the auditorium after
that's wonderful.
Oh,
that was so cool.
Well, it was a wonderful day for him. But so that's a lot of fun. But Coach Dancy. I never really saw a picture.
I think is there another one that has him in there too?
Well, we'll get to that a little bit later.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get to that a little bit later.
Okay.
Let's just show a picture of the front of the building, the 1912 building.
Oh yeah,
that shows building. But look how beautiful that building is.
Yeah, that's pretty.
So this is the building, one of the original buildings, and it's set where the courtyard is at now, and Building B. You know, Building A is the one with the big gym. Building B is the building in the middle, and then Building C is the one where the auditorium's at on Flora Avenue. But like this was what the entrance to our high school was before it caught on fire in, I believe, 1980. The second or third floor. I think it was the third floor did. Some hoodlums got up there and set my beautiful school on fire. And but anyway, that was the opening of, that was the front doors of the high school. I just think it's a beautiful picture, and it was a grand building at one time, you know, and then but it was the only existing building. You know, Building A hadn't come along yet, Building C hadn't come along yet. Yeah. But I just wanted to let you guys get a gander at what the beginning, and the school started in 1912.
Yeah. Okay, that's when they built it.
Okay, let's stick with 1928.
Okay.
Let's go, since we were talking about Coach Dancy, let's go to that, the funny basketball picture.
Oh, I know what one this is. Okay.
Let's go to the funny basketball picture.
Yeah.
1928.
If he can find it. We have a helper today because we have so many pictures. So we have Ty back there running our photos for us. So
it's the funny basketball picture, Ty. You're looking. Okay. We just had so many pictures. We went crazy.
We had so many.
But this one's hysterical. Okay. Yeah. All right, people. So seriously, why did Stacey Early Wine pick this picture? Well, I'm thinking of the 80s. See, I graduated in 85, and we had an amazing basketball team through the 80s. And I'm looking at our basketball posters, and our boys would have never stood and had their hands on the next player's waist. I was like, okay, I can't see Mark Stanley, Tim Locum, Greg Lieb, Phil Lieb. I can't see them standing back to back like that.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
Yeah, that's funny.
With their,
up.
It is funny, and it's a big squad, you know.
Yeah, they had a lot of players.
I just think that picture is absolutely hysterical.
And you know what else is cool about that is at the bottom they put the schedule, and then they actually put the score on there.
Oh, yeah.
So you could go back and look and see how many games they won.
Yeah.
Which, you know, right after you graduate, you might not care, but gosh, 20 years down the road, you're like, how many games did we win in high school?
Oh, absolutely.
And you can flip through there and look.
Do you go back to your yearbooks much? I keep my yearbooks are out quite a bit. My yearbooks are out a lot. I like them. Yeah, I like my yearbooks. And then one more, we're knockout 1928. Okay. Go to that cartoon picture real quick, Ty.
Oh, yeah, this is another really cool thing that they did. See, the kids got to draw caricatures
of themselves.
And then some of these I think were teachers too, that they put into the into the yearbook.
I just thought that was, I love that. Yeah, I don't know if that's a marijuana leaf on top of that one lady, 1, 2, 4 over, third row down, fourth one to the right, or if it's a crown.
It's a crown.
If it's a crown, I'm in love with her.
It's a crown.
Well, we got to take a real quick commercial break, darling, but we'll come back and visit more of our fun yearbooks.
Sounds good.
1928.
At your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville, you can count on experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, the Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville carry a large inventory of Napa products for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced associates understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa Know-How at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville. Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
We like technology at Flora Savings Bank. Here's what you can accomplish in our mobile banking app in less than 30 seconds. See account balances in your transactions, set up an account alert, make a transfer between accounts, get an alert text message about your transfer, pay a bill, turn your debit card off and then back on. It all happens in the palm of your hand with our free My Bank to Go app. Search My Bank to Go in the App Store or Google Play and give mobile banking a try. Flora Savings Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Give me a order lumber. Doors, paint, windows, electrical, plumbing, and much more. Oh, yeah. Give me all your guns, too.
John Lucas.
What?
You better be dreaming about all the stuff we sell here at Zink Building Center.
Oh, I would. Zink Building Center in Louisville on Route 45. It's a cool place.
Mic's on. Okay.
All right.
I wasn't quite ready, but welcome back. I was still going over my notes. So
Exactly.
Okay, so we are going to dive right into the next year on our list, which is 1929.
Oh, yeah, we love those 20s.
Yes,
Gotta love
so-
them. Can you imagine go to school back in the roaring 20s?
No.
The 50s and the 20s, I would love to go back and visit. I love
Yes,
those.
yeah.
Those are probably my two favorite decades.
Yes. Have
I
you ever
love
seen
'em.
that movie, Midnight in Paris?
No.
Oh, you've got to watch that. It's so good. So it's about this guy who always wishes he lived in the 20s.
Yeah.
And then it's Owen Wilson.
Oh,
and so
okay.
then in the middle, he's in Paris, and in the middle of the night, this like weird carriage comes by and picks him up because he was a little lost, and it takes him back in time to the 20s.
Oh, I
And
have
he
to
meets
watch
all
that.
of these famous people from the 1920s. And
Oh, I feel like I've seen that.
oh man, it's one of my favorite movies.
Well, I'll have to go watch it.
And then, but while he's in the 1920s, he falls in love with this woman who always wishes she was in the 1800s. And then she ends up going back in time to the 1800s, not to spoil the whole thing. But the whole point of the movie is no matter what time period you live in, you always wish you were in another one. There's always
Yeah.
one that sounds better,
Yeah.
no matter what.
I want to live in the Victorian era, but I don't want to go back to that where I didn't have any rights.
Yeah.
I want to be able to vote.
Yeah. I would be less concerned about the voting and more concerned about the lack of medical care.
The medical care or the bathrooms. Yeah. All right, well, let's
shoot,
hit
okay.
1929, babe.
Okay. There's one called 1929 Gym Class, I believe.
Oh, fun.
And this one is.
Do you have that picture?
I do not have this one. I think Ty has it back there.
Fun. Are they
no.
hopscotching? That's the 50s.
Nope, this is actually from the 50s.
That's
this
the
isn't
50s.
it.
That's not
yeah,
29.
this is Gym Class in the 50s, which we were going to talk about here in a little bit.
We'll talk about a little bit.
Nope,
Nope.
not that one either. Sorry, I may have not called it Gym Class. It is. It's basically.
Oh, there it is. Is that the old picture? There it is.
Yeah, Gym Class, physical education. So what was interesting about this is a group of women or students in the 1929, and their PE class only met on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I thought that was interesting. And it says it was made a required subject and that all girls must enroll in one of the classes for at least 1 year during the high school course. And I think that's fantastic. And I think they should go back to that myself. Like, for those of us that don't like PE, like 1 year and you only have to do it on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Uh-huh.
Well, that would have been an answer to my prayer when I was in school.
It would have
hated
been my
PE.
answer because prayer was an easy, or gym was an easy A.
Yeah.
And
Well, for those of those students that want to take it,
Yeah.
go for it. But for the rest of us, no
Uh-uh.
way.
that's a neat picture.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool picture.
Quite a few of them.
Yeah. And then there's another one with Jay Bowman in it from
Oh,
1929.
Bowman.
So we talked a little bit about Bowman hardware on another
There he is.
episode. We're gonna one day dive into the Bowman house, but we're not touching that one just yet. But
Do you see what it says? Gentle in speech,
Uh-huh.
beneficial of mind.
beneficent of mind? Yeah, I don't know. I guess he was a soft-spoken guy.
Yeah,
that was
Bowman's
smart.
Hardware,
Yeah, so
right there where Phillips Parks is at right now. Right
yeah,
there
so
on Locust.
I think this would have actually been the son of the man that built
Oh, I
Bowman
would
Hardware.
think so,
Not
yeah.
really him, but
No, because this is what, 29, and the
Yeah.
hardware store was around in the 1800s.
yeah, I think, or at least the latest, the early
latest,
1900s. Yeah, so that was kind of a
Entered from Xenia, Illinois.
yeah. So
He played basketball and was on the Harston staff.
good for him.
Got
Anyway,
good hair.
great hair. Just an interesting little tidbit about some of the famous names in our town. So that
Yeah, how
Bowman
fun is
family
that?
was a big one. Okay, so
Fun.
let's see. What else do we have? After 29, we're going to jump to the 50s.
Well, we're going to go to 1949.
Oh, okay.
1949. And we're going to talk a little bit about those directors of athletes.
Oh, yeah, let's look at them. Yeah.
So here, I can't remember what the middle guy, but you have Mr. Dancy on the Mr. Dancy's on the far right, and on the far left is Mr. Conley, Coach Conley.
And the guy in the middle was called Mr. Hooker.
Mr. Hooker. Yes. Now I wonder whatever. See, to me, like in the other picture of Dancy, like he looks like right there with those other two gentlemen, he looks like he's bigger than what that other picture led us to believe. Because that looks like a man's man right there. You know what I'm saying? Look at his hands and stuff.
Oh, hang on a second. Bert Dancy's on the left of the screen.
Oh, is that him?
Yeah.
So is that
Conley's on the right?
Conley's on the right. So I've swapped.
Yeah.
So Conley is a big guy. And he looks like he's a.
Yeah, that's Bert Dancy on the left. Aged a little bit since he had on that football.
Yeah,
uniform.
he did because because we're talking 49.
Yeah, so this is like 20 years later, basically.
Yeah,
21 years later.
He came to Flora High School in 28.
Yeah, so 21 years later.
So
he's a little gray at the temples, but he still has the same look on his face. Like
he sure does.
Same guy.
Yeah,
he's a good guy. You can just tell by looking at him.
And then Coach Conley, of course, is what Conley Gymnasium is named after, and he was a winning football coach. Once again, very well respected.
He was football or he was
basketball. Okay. Conley Jim, he was the basketball coach.
He's a big guy, though. He looks like
he is a big guy.
Played football in high school, too.
Do we know what happened to the gentleman in the middle?
No, I'm not familiar with him. I'm guessing maybe he was just a teacher here for a little bit, maybe not an administrator. I'm not sure. Yeah. But maybe, who knows? I don't even want to guess.
I don't know, but they're very well respected men. Yeah. So I really thought that was.
Yeah, it's nice to put a face with a name when you hear of a gymnasium or some part of a building that's named after someone.
Well, it's almost sad because if you think about it, how many kids have gone through the high school and walked through Conley Gym and doesn't even
no clue
or Dancy Field. You can drive right by there now.
Yeah.
Because literally, because I just used their last names. We're like Harry Penry Auditorium now.
Right.
Is literally Harry Penry Auditorium.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But then it kind of makes you, because that all happened. When did that happen? That just happened a few years ago. So the 21st century. So. And this was back, these gentlemen were back in the 50s. It's good to keep that legacy alive.
Yeah.
That's
absolutely
awesome. Okay, so let's stick with 1949.
Okay.
And let's go with the twosomes of our time.
Okay.
Now this, I love this.
Oh, yes.
So this is boyfriend and girlfriend.
And here's another example of what they don't do anymore in our yearbooks that make them boring, our current day yearbooks. But look how cool they added a page just for some of the couples.
Yeah. And there was actually, on the other side, there was another set of couples on the other side. I just didn't send them. Yeah. I particularly sent this one. But look, you got the two are walking downtown, and the top left are coming out of a store. The bottom left is she's riding her bike, and then the bottom right there at the mailbox. With those mailboxes are cool, and they're popping up all over the place with books in them. Have you noticed that? Those old-fashioned mailboxes, which I think are really, really neat. And I picked this picture because of the top right-hand photograph. That is Bill and Shirley Snyder. Now, Mrs. Snyder was my first grade teacher.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Shirley Snyder. And they had children. They lived in Florida. They were very, very well tied to the community. They were wonderful, wonderful people. Bill Snyder was funny. He literally was one of the funniest men.
Oh, really?
Oh my gosh, he was implemented with Jack Thatcher and he wrote a lot of the original Beginning Depot shows.
Okay, yes, I remember that.
But I love this picture because Bill Snyder is opening the door for Shirley, and I don't know what Shirley's last name is because it just says Shirley. She's got her left hand on her hip, and she's like, I ain't budging from this car. Which, if you knew the Snyders, that was typical.
Makes you wonder what they were talking about.
I don't know, but I'd love to know how many of those couples. I didn't recognize the other names. Like I said, Bill and Shirley caught mine.
Makes you wonder if any of the rest of these couples are still together today.
I don't know.
I love the top center one, and she's got her long overcoat on.
Yeah.
So classy. It's like old Hollywood look.
It is. It's beautiful. Yeah, this was 49.
Yeah.
The cards. But yeah, Bill and Shirley, they were wonderful people. And Shirley was my first grade teacher. Okay, so real quick story about Shirley. So I was always a teacher's pet. I was good in school, very pleasant, all this kind of stuff. Well, in the first grade, the only teacher I ever got in trouble by was Shirley Snyder.
Oh, really? What did she do?
Well,
what did you do?
What did I do? Well, okay, it's first grade, okay? I could go to Washington School right now and walk to the classroom in the corner she put me in.
Oh, really?
Well, okay, so how old are you in the first grade?
6.
Okay. Well, I was sitting there, and there was one of the students next to me had an accident, and I pointed it out. And Mrs. Snyder was like, Stacey and Bill, you come over here, and and
weren't you doing her a favor by
I
letting her
thought
know
so.
there was like a wet chair next to you?
Well, yeah,
I don't know.
and it kind of was coming, and I kind of panicked, and I just remember Shirley Snyder picked me up, and she walked me to the corner and put me in the corner. Because I don't really think I was making fun, but I pointed out that the little girl next to me had an accident. I'm not going to say her name because I don't know whatever happened to her. I think her family moved away like when we were first, second, or third grade.
Yeah, that's fine. That doesn't matter. But I would have thought the reaction would be like, "Oh, thank you for telling me."
I
Let
think,
me wipe
but
that up.
it could have been.
Yeah.
But
Well,
so
if that's the worst thing you did
I
in
did.
school,
That's
you're pretty
literally
darn
the
good.
only thing I did. And the other thing that I think is funny is later on, so that I go through school and and everything, and then when did the Depot show start? Gosh, 2000, 01.
Yeah,
I always
like that.
forget that.
Me too.
And I've been involved in the Depot show since day. I am literally the only surviving member of every single Depot show since the beginning. Awesome. Kudos to me, right?
Yes, kudos to you.
And Shirley Snyder and Bill and Shirley were very implemental in writing those because, like I said, he was funny. He was a funny guy. Gosh, he was so fun. Mm-hmm. And he was a slapstick kind of guy. And so anyway, we're sitting there, and I walk in there, and I'm like, Shirley was sitting there, and I'm like, hi, Shirley, how are you? She's like, how are you doing? I said, oh, good. And I said, you're the only teacher that I ever got in trouble by. And she went, oh, my gosh, darling. And she remembered. She said,
remembered?
I need to apologize to you. I should have never reacted that way.
Well,
yeah,
good.
but it was so funny. I'm like, hey, how are you doing? By the way, I never got in trouble in school. Teachers loved and adored me.
Oh, well, at least she apologized. I mean,
she did.
She was probably just stressed out.
Oh,
it had to be stressful to teach first graders and then have someone have an accident and still have to take care of all the other kids and help that one little girl out at the same time.
Yeah, I wonder whatever happened to that little girl.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, so did you ever get in trouble in school?
Not really, no.
I don't believe it.
I don't remember ever getting in trouble at school. I was really easygoing and it's a good kid.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I never did. Like I said, I was always a teacher's pet, so. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Jim ever got in trouble. Jim went to school in Robinson. Now, where's Jason? Jason's... Sisney.
North Wayne.
I would like to know what his school years were like.
Well, that is a whole episode.
Yeah, we may have to touch a little bit after that, after we come back from our commercial break.
Right, we'll be right back.
If you're looking for a loan for your brand new home, call Clay County State Bank. If you want to transfer money so your future will look sunny, call Clay County State Bank.
We got checking and savings and bill pay too.
An online bank, just ask our crew. For all your banking needs, we think you will agree.
Clay County State Bank is the place you need to be. Clay County State Bank.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
It's the weekend and your symptoms are worsening. The morning of a big meeting and you have a bigger sore throat. Ever experienced that urgency after picking up your sick child and your community health center has already closed? You will be able to connect to a provider at crhpc.org. Even if you have never been to CRHPC, you are welcome to utilize our services. Feel better after scheduling a video visit with CRHPC.
Tomorrow. Some fear the uncertainty it brings. Some trust the promise it holds. At Grinnell Mutual, we are always looking forward to tomorrow, growing and innovating. So even if the plans you have for the future aren't the same as the plans that the future holds for you, you can be ready. Because we'll be ready, like we have been for over 100 years. Trust in that. Trust in tomorrow. Talk to your mutual agent today.
Your local agent is on the square. Louisville, Clay County Farmers Mutual Insurance.
Okay, welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I am Beth.
I am Stacey Earlywine, and we are talking about old yearbooks, and it's awesome.
It is.
It is so much fun.
So many little treasures hidden in these yearbooks.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like we're just getting into it.
Once again.
Because we're about to hit the 1950s now, you guys.
My.
And they were
Okay. Yeah.
More pictures from the 50s, and they're fantastic.
Yeah. So I must confess, literally, I have been on a 1950s kick for 3 weeks. I've been listening to nothing but 1950s Pandora.
Okay. I love 50s on 5 because I have.
Oh my gosh, I do. Yeah. I actually, when I was pulling into the thing, it was Shake, Rattle, and Roll.
Oh yeah, I love that one. You know what movie I think of when I hear that is Clue. That's my all-time favorite
that's your
movie.
favorite movie.
So if anybody ever asks what's Beth Cooper's favorite movie, it is Clue. I love that movie, but they play that on it.
Do they? Yeah, I can't remember that. I've only watched Clue a couple times. See, I love Happy Days. Happy Days is one of my all-time favorite TV. You know, I haven't been able to find that to binge that yet. I don't know. Gonna have to go find that too. Okay. But we are knocking on 1950. We're actually going to start with 1950.
Okay, we have.
Let's go with the girls' games. I think you touched on that already, babe, where the girls were playing in their. Of course, now we're talking about girls playing.
Yep.
Yeah, here we go. Is that hopscotch? They have to be hopscotching.
I think they're just skipping through the gym. Hopscotch, you would go one at a time. You would not all go at the same time.
Okay. Well, now let's take a look at this picture because the original building. The girls' gymnasium was in the basement, along with the commons area.
Oh.
So, it was that gymnasium. It was a full gym, and it was all the way underground.
Okay.
And it was the neatest thing because the girls' locker room, even though at this time in the 50s, women are not playing other schools. It had the neatest fountain, and I'll talk a little bit about that because I touch on my sister's school years when they actually started playing. But that girls' gym.
What kind of fountain? Like Chamber of Secrets?
It was like a large fountain where it actually flowed. It was like tiered and it had water flowing through it, a real fountain, and then you could actually sit around the edges of it. It was a beautiful.
In the locker room?
Uh-huh.
Why did they hide it?
I don't know, but it was downstairs in the girls' locker room. I remember it because when my sister was playing in the 70s, Diane, there's 8 years between Diane and I, and Diane was very athletic like my father was, and she played in all the sports, and I would annoy all of her friends.
Of course, you should.
But that was the neat little sister that they'd take down the basement with them. Yeah,
really
that fountain
cool.
was. I'll have to talk to her a little bit more about that. But anyway, we'll touch on the 70s. But so it was really neat. But so the girls are, we've got, of course, in the 20s they had the physical education.
Right. Yeah.
2 days a week, but now we're all 4 years apparently in the 50s, but they're doing that.
Okay.
But so that's the 1950s. Girls playing.
Yeah.
In the gym. I wonder what they're doing. The list sure does look like they were skipping.
I think they were skipping.
Okay. I'm skipping, not hopscotch. Hopscotch I can't remember.
Hopscotch is where you have a pattern on the floor drawn out, and then you throw a rock, and whatever box it lands in, you have to skip that one.
Oh, okay.
And then you jump.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Okay, let's go to 1951.
Okay.
Let's hit that buildings trade picture.
Oh, yeah, this is a good one.
Because buildings trades are very important. Look at this. Another house by building trades. We need to find out every house that was built.
Right, because
by the buildings trade.
I did not know that building trades started way back in the 50s. I thought this was like a 1990s thing.
I would have
started building homes around Flora, but apparently there has been it's been an ongoing thing. So that is something we should investigate.
Yeah. I love this picture because the guy on the top right, top left, that's actually got the saw in his hand, I think he looks like a gangster.
Yeah.
He's kind of got that gangster look.
What gangster is that he...
is it
from Chicago?
Yeah.
What's
Al
his name?
Capone.
Al Capone.
He does. He looks like Al Capone. That's why I picked it. I'm such a weird picture. And then I love the little fella that's been over. I love that hat. It reminds me of Richie Cunningham.
Yeah.
1950s. But the boys are standing around. But building trades have been around for a long time. So I would like to know, I'm going to make a note of that too. How many houses Flora High School building trades have built?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because here's my other thing about building trades, and we might put that on our on one of our other episodes, is I would love to see the buildings trades instead of building new structures. I would love for buildings trades for the school to buy old homes and remodel them. Mm-hmm. Because chances are a lot of these kids are not going to be building brand new structures, but everybody remodels a home.
That's true. That would be.
I would like to see them do that. That would be really good
skills. Yeah. Like if you own a home and your plumbing is down, like what you can do on your own before you have to call a plumber.
Absolutely.
Or if you have an electrical problem at your home.
Absolutely. They need to know that.
Yeah.
All right, let's hit the baton, girls.
Oh, Woo-hoo!
Okay. I love this one too.
I love this one too.
And that gentleman, I don't know what his name is, but he is stuck with these girls for all 4 years.
Oh.
He was in there with them. But look at the boots. Oh my gosh, I'm in love with those boots.
I'm in love with the boots.
How cute is that? So that's 1951 drum majorettes.
So they would march in the parade ahead of the band.
Absolutely.
Did they do anything else throughout the year?
They performed at all the football games.
Oh, football games. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Yep.
I love the drum majorettes from 1951.
Yeah, super cute. I don't know any of them, but
I didn't recognize the names either.
Okay.
But that's awesome. And then let's hit that. Okay, so this is a picture, the scoreboard, the gymnasium picture.
Yeah,
I love this. Oh,
yep.
whoop.
Here
there we go. I love this picture because guys go into the gym with the exception of a new board up there. But look at all those kids packing the house. That's the exact same section until they moved it all where the students always sat.
Yeah.
So if you think about that, that's the same. That right there up there is Phil Lieb's office. Mm-hmm. That top drawer up on the right, but of course with the exception of the scoreboard. But the scoreboard wasn't electric at that time.
Yeah.
So
let's just talk about the glory of that scoreboard. Do
you
see the ladder next to it?
Yeah. So somebody's I wonder if somebody was up there during a game because it almost looks like there's a ladder and then there's like a little something that people walked by and like every time a point was scored because you got that Flora. The floor is on the left.
Yeah.
And then you've got the numbers. I wonder if they physically put in every time a basket was scored, changed the score by their own hands.
I don't know. Or if there was a lever they pulled and the next number fell over. I don't know.
I don't know, but that's a really neat picture. But I just love the student section. And my goodness, if you think about that building was in 1912. Of course, they've always played sports. Just think about everybody that's been in that gym and just close your eyes and visualize all the differerent hairstyles, the different clothing.
That gym has seen it all.
That gym has seen it all.
If walls could talk.
Yeah, 22, what is it? Oh, that gym's 100? Yeah, what is this? 20, so it would be 100 and how many years
That
old?
gym was part of the original building?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm wrong. No, that's the new gym. Yeah,
okay.
So I wonder when was the new gym built?
I have no idea.
We need to find out when building A was
I didn't
built.
go to school there, so I don't know.
I can't believe I don't know that. But yeah, how cool is that?
Yeah, that's super cool. Even if it's only been there since the 50s or whatever, that's still a lot of history it's seen.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And then let's hit that tennis team. Let's hit the tennis picture. 1951, of course, we all recognize the Palace name. Palace set the pace in tennis. So he was a very good, if you go to the high school now, there are trophies in the trophy case. He is in the middle. John Palace is in the middle right there, holding the actual trophy that they won. Of course, Palace, Throgmorton Palace. Mm-hmm. They were very implemental in the rising of Flora pharmaceuticals, and I would say when you think about the Flora High School tennis, you think of the Palace family.
Yeah.
Especially him. He was there's a lot of different trophies. And I don't know in Building A if the trophy case is still there or if they've moved a lot of them out. Mm-hmm. I haven't been a lot of times we don't go through Building A anymore.
There's still some in there. So other names that were in there were Richard Hicks, Leonard Greenwood, Donald Walker, Raymond Hicks, and very interesting, Mr. Hooker.
There you go.
Yep. Makes another appearance. Mr. Hooker and Mr. Hubble.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so they must have been the tennis coaches.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, I love that picture too. But just a little touch on the Palace family there. Another name we all recognize.
Absolutely.
Now let's move to 1952. All right. So I've mentioned my father. You'll hear me talk about my father a lot. My dad the Hempills were very athletic. My dad was very athletic. He played basketball and football. And Apparently, there's a picture of my dad sitting on the front of the school, and he's apparently hurt his leg. Football takes a toll. And so Eddie Hill, Bill Hemphill, and Bill Lawrence, apparently they're not playing that next game. But I love the look on my dad's face because he's like, I don't know. He just looks pretty sneaky.
He's like, I sprained my ankle, but I'm still smiling.
I'm still smiling. Yeah. So
but you know what my favorite thing in this picture is?
What?
The cuffed jeans on the other two guys.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, which I think maybe your dad's pants are cuffed too, but they're light, like a khaki color. It doesn't show. But those other two guys, they got on the denim that is cuffed at the bottom, the ankles, and then they got like at least 3 or 4 inches of skin showing there.
And then let's go to the archery. We're going to hit the girls playing. Look at that. 1952. Girls they're pulling those arrows back. Isn't that awesome?
I wonder if they still do that. And
we played in the 80s. We played archery. We did archery, and I loved it. Actually, like the field where everybody, the parking lot's at now. There used to be houses that sat on Locust Street right there, and then that was just a big open field.
Okay.
And so that field was all completely open, and that's where we played a lot of games out there at the time.
Fun.
Yeah, because they don't have that now because that parking lot's there, so now they have to walk to the football field. But we did archery over there a lot. And then let's go to the Queen's Homecoming. Okay. Let's look at some homecoming dresses from 1952.
The dresses.
Look at that. Isn't that? I love that.
I love that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, just beautiful gowns.
Yeah, Dorothy McBride. And look, okay, this is another reason. Maid of honor, first maid of honor, second maid. So you've got the girl, Vernal, in the middle is the queen.
Okay.
So it looks like Dorothy McBride, the lady on the far left, was first maid of honor. Vernal, whoever that was, is the queen. And then Eleanor Welsh was second maid.
Very cool. So that was probably the students voted, and then basically it was like queen and then runner-up and second runner-up.
Yeah. Senior royalty for homecoming week.
Very cool.
How
in
1950. 1952 we're in.
Okay.
And then 1952 is the year my father graduated. Okay. And so
he was the most popular.
My dad was voted most popular. Dad's most popular. Look at my dad.
Yes.
Yeah.
How handsome.
So Vernal,
the homecoming queen.
Vernal, the homecoming queen.
Vernal Coble.
And Bill Hemphill were chosen by a vote of the entire student body as the most popular girl and boy in the senior class.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Your dad's pretty sharp.
My
with
dad,
his scarf.
I like I said, my dad. I mean, I know everybody loves their dad, but I wish everybody could have had a dad like my dad. My dad was the best, most perfect person. Unfortunately, my dad died of cancer in '97, and me and my sisters have never gotten over it.
I'm sorry.
And we miss our father dearly, but I love looking back at these old pictures of him because it's like I can't even go down the hallway where all the old pictures at. I always look at my dad's picture now, look at my mom's, but my dad's. Yeah, my dad was a force. He was a wonderful, wonderful man. He was a force. He was, my dad was all bark and not an ounce of bite. When it came to his daughters, now if anybody messed with us, but yeah, my dad was, as far as I'm concerned, my dad was perfect. And that's what I'm going to say about that. Okay. We're going to take a commercial break.
We'll be back.
Do you bowl like this? That's great. Do you bowl like this? That's great too. That's because whether you're a pro or you just want to have a lot of fun, at Pegel's Silver Dollar Lanes, we have a lane for you. We have galaxy bowling, gaming for kids and adults, Joe's Pizza, a full bar, darts, pool, and fresh and clean bowling shoes. Boy, does that smell nice. So come on down to Pegel Silver Dollar Lanes in Effingham, where we have a lane for you.
My name is Robin Stanford. I own Stanford Marketing. It's a promotional products business along with an embroidery business. And we do custom hats, t-shirts, anything, you name it, we can make it. People like that we do stuff in-house and we can actually make things here and that we're not contracting the work out to other places. We never say no. We always try to find a way to do it. If anybody can do it, we can do it. We are hardworking women, that is for sure. Come to Stanford Marketing in Flora for all your custom and promotional needs.
The insurance specialists have options to tailor to your needs at CSI Insurance Brokers. Experienced insurance brokers at CSI are skilled with all types of insurance plans and policies and represent many companies, including Safeco Insurance. You'll benefit from their detailed expertise, unbeatable premiums, and commitment to customer service. CSI Insurance Brokers and Safeco Insurance Company, providing affordable rates on quality insurance since 1952.
For over 50 years, at your locally owned and operated Royal King Supply in Salem and Olney, we've helped you and your neighbors enjoy an easy country lifestyle. We carry the most thorough sporting goods department around with a huge variety of hunting and fishing gear, camping equipment, and a variety of firearms for any need. Our team is here to help you find whatever you need. Open every day, it's Royal King in Salem and Olney, your locally owned farm and home store.
Okay, welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. We are deep in discussions about old yearbooks.
Yes, we are.
We love them.
Oh, I could just, it was almost like I literally wanted, whenever Sandy Haycock brought in those yearbooks, and I just wanted to like cancel the rest of the day.
I would much rather look at old yearbooks from the past than my own.
Oh, I did, because, we're going to touch just a tiny bit on, because, I was looking at those old, from the past, and it's just like,
they're full
I
of
looked
information.
at mine, and it's like,
yeah, mine is, I'll talk about that in a little bit.
Okay.
There's not much in it besides pictures.
We're going to knock on the door of 1957. All right, and we are going to go, Bonnie Thatcher. Bonnie Delaney. This is look at the cheerleading pictures. This is 1957. Look at their super cute shoes, and those skirts are amazing.
Yes.
And Bonnie Delaney Thatcher. Bonnie Thatcher was a dear friend of my mother's.
She's a dear friend of mine, too. I love Bonnie.
We love Bonnie.
I try to go visit her once or twice a year. She lives in Tennessee now.
Bonnie and my mom were good friends, and then her husband, Jack Thatcher, and my dad were best friends. They were actually best men at each other's weddings. But Bonnie is on the right-hand side, right and smack dab in the middle with her pom-pom.
You can, if you know Bonnie, you can tell right away that is Bonnie.
Absolutely.
So pretty.
I would say Bonnie's probably one of the most dearest, sweetest ladies in the entire world.
I would have to agree.
I loved Bonnie.
I love Bonnie.
And they were raised, of course, her husband, Jack Thatcher, they ran the Advocate Press. And then he was a mayor of Flora. Mm-hmm. We were raised just right down the street. So Jay Thatcher was a year older than me, and then Jackie was like 3 years younger than me, and Jackie and I were like best friends. We ruled that south end of town, man.
I bet you did.
We ruled the south end of town. We loved that.
We have another one with Bonnie in it,
too,
we
don't do. We have another cheerleading picture. Woohoo!
Woo! I would love to know what they're doing here.
I know. I think she's on the far right. How fun is that? I mean, seriously.
Yep.
I mean... like the chain gang. What is happening right now?
And then below it, you have some of the sponsors for the yearbook.
Yeah. Marathon Cafe, JC Motor Sales, Borders Radio Service.
Yeah, I don't know that one. And then JC Bora Motor Sales.
Yeah, how fun is that?
Yep.
Yeah, but I love that picture's awesome.
Yeah, I love that one too.
I do too.
Let's jump ahead. We're done with the 50s?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. We got one more.
Look at this cool picture. Well, I want to show a picture of my mother. My mother graduated.
Oh, yeah.
That's my mother, Dallas Franklin Hemphill. She went to school with my dad's little sister, Marie. My dad's 5 years older. I don't know. My mother literally never aged. She was always little, always. My dad was a force to be reckoned with, athletic, good-looking, intelligent, everything. Like, if you think of popular, well, my dad was most popular, where my mother was very quiet, very pretty, very tiny, very,
Yeah, they balanced each other out, didn't they?
And then, but then my mom my mom cracked that whip.
Oh, yeah, I could see that in her, too, for sure. Okay.
I love this. Carolers.
Yes.
Look at this. How fun is this?
I wonder where they were.
I don't know, but isn't that the greatest thing you've ever seen?
They're in front of a home or something singing.
I love that. I do. I wonder what they're singing right now.
Because I bet those scarves and things are red. I'd love to see this in color.
I just love that picture. And I wonder who's directing them.
Mr. Hooker. He seems to be everywhere.
Yeah, I love that. You just don't,
Yeah, I don't know.
And and like I said, I didn't touch on any of the band pictures because I'd like to do a whole episode sometime on like high school bands around. So I didn't really add bands, and I would like to do an episode on just like sports.
Yeah.
And but anyway, because we got a lot to cover. and we're going to do this show forever.
Right. Because we got other towns in Clay County, too. We got Louisville. We didn't touch on that when we got Clay City. Yeah.
So I'm thinking that would be
schools.
a fun, if we did a whole area band, a whole area sports thing would be great.
Oh, absolutely.
But so we just knocked out the 50s.
Okay.
How fun is that?
We're going to skip over the 60s a little bit and cruise on into the 70s.
Yeah, we're going to do the 70s. And we have a picture. My sister, Diane Hemphill, she went to school in the 70s. And I have a volleyball picture. Oh, my gosh, they're going to kill me. This is my sister's volleyball picture. My sister is in the middle, number 4. Holding the volleyball.
Aw, look at Diane.
There's a lot of people like Carla Stanford's in there. The West twins are in there. Jane Wood's in there. Charlotte Todd, far right, number 12. Alicia Fry is number 15.
Okay. I see Carla in the back, number 20.
Yeah, Carla is number 20. And then Jane Gruball is 23. Right behind Diane is Lisa Lane. I can't believe I can remember a lot of these people. Some of them I don't remember, but my sister could tell you a lot of who they are. Number 15 might be Mona Etchison.
Okay.
One of the Etchison girls. I don't know. She'll correct me. But what's interesting about the 70s is we had the girls' sports in high school, but it wasn't until like 1975 where girls actually played other schools.
Oh, so this was the first team.
This is the first,
team to ever compete. Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so they're going. And I have a funny story about my sister.
Okay, let's hear it.
Like I said, Diane was just like Dad, very athletic, and the first time I think when they back in volleyball, like it wasn't like it is now, like you played to 15, and my sister, I think Flora was playing Louisville. My sister Diane served all 15 points and won the game.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good job, Diane.
Yeah, she was good. She played tennis and softball. And, Yeah. So that was, but how interesting is that? And then also that year, those girls actually made it to the state finals. They made it up there. They were a very athletic, very talented team of girls.
That's a good way to start off the Flora High School girls volleyball team.
Oh yeah.
Go to state.
Go to state. Go
big or go home, right?
Yeah. And then let's pull up now. My sister Linda is going to kill me on this one.
Okay.
Okay. So this is 1979. This is my sister Linda. Her name is Linda Waller now. That's her. That was her first husband. That's David Knapp. Those are the parents of Travis Knapp, and they dated all through like junior high, all through high school, and then were married after that. But that is my sister's sweetheart picture in 1979.
Look how pretty she is.
Yeah. See, Diane was the athletic one. Linda was considered the pretty one, which I'll debate that because I'm pretty cute myself. And and I was the musical one. But so that's my sister's 1979 picture. And then we have another one from 79. I love that one. That's her homecoming picture. That's Linda and David's homecoming picture.
Oh, cute.
I wish we had that dress.
Yes, no kidding.
Yeah, that's David and Linda.
And that brown suit just screams early 80s, late 70s.
Well, look at his haircut.
Yeah.
Look at his haircut. So those are pictures from 79.
Yeah, super cute.
Beth, we may have to find some 60s and 70s. We're going to have to revisit.
Oh, yeah. We
yearbooks again.
Do
this
a
is
whole
fun.
other episode on this again sometime. But
okay,
so let's talk about our own yearbooks.
Oh, my gosh.
Just for your enjoyment, we decided to throw in a few pictures of ourselves.
Okay.
That are funny.
Well, well, mine are...
But I will say this.
Awesome.
I went through old yearbooks, and I decided that mine were so boring. There was really nothing in them other than pictures of each student with their name, and then pictures of team sports. And then in the high school one, there was pictures of who was on court.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was with me when I went through, because I was like, we'll touch on our own, but I just didn't find them as interesting as I found.
Yeah, if you were never on a court at a dance or on any basketball team or anything like that, the only picture you had of yourself in a yearbook was your class student, your student individual picture.
Well, because I found in mine, I mean, in the musicals and the band, and I think the Harston, they do a really good job, because there were just all pictures and no fun little sayings like the 20s had all
nothing
that fun
written.
stuff.
A few of my older high school ones had like some collages of like little bitty cutouts. I mean, they were tiny.
Oh my!
Like the old way of scrapbooking, and then they would collage them all up. But it was so hard to.
Well,
I was like, I might be her. I honestly don't know the pictures.
That's how it was with Mac and Connors when I got their yearbooks, and it was just like it's like 1,000 pictures, and it's just like wait, I didn't get a microphone. I'm not a microphone. I'm always thinking about microphones, but
a magnifying
glass.
Yeah, I needed one too.
So I'm going to show you a picture of my senior year. I was on a couple courts. I was on the.
Okay, you want me to do that one now?
Yeah, just do that. That's the prom court.
Oh, okay. Nope, I did this one first. Sorry.
That's my senior picture.
Yep. Oh, so pretty. I love the feathered hair.
Oh, it's fantastic. That mullet. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So that's pretty great. And then here's Stacey as. Oops.
Do you bowl like this?
The prom queen
button. Oh no! What happened?
That's great. Do you bowl like this?
Nope. We are.
Okay, we're still going, but this is not the right. I'm having technical difficulties. There we go. Okay.
There it is. So this is I was on a sweetheart court. This is not the sweetheart, but this is my prom picture.
Aww.
And so we did the hoops and
I love the hoops under there.
I wasn't prom queen, which I've never. That was in 1985. I have not got over not being prom queen, but I wish I had that dress. I did love that dress. It was like a royal blue color, and of course I've got the gloves on. I think I wore it. I mean, it was fantastic. It was 1985.
Yeah, I love
that.
85.
Was great. And then my senior picture.
So, you want to see where I was in 1985?
I definitely want to see where you were at in 1985.
Well, actually, I think this is 1980. I think this is 1984 here.
I love that. I was going to point out the monogram sweater.
Ah, yes. The
Danielle
monogram.
Beth DeVore.
Yes.
A DVD.
Yes.
That is fantastic.
But the bowl haircut, my mother loved that haircut. I hated it. Hated that haircut. But it doesn't get any better.
It does not get any better. How old were you?
This is me in 3rd grade. Now, I also have a mullet, so
do not remove that picture. Do not remove that picture.
Let's compare mullets. There's mine. And here's Stacey's.
Mine. Yeah.
So
okay. So whose is better?
Yeah.
Let's go back. Beth's mullet. Stacey's mullet.
Oh my gosh.
That picture of you. I'm telling
that's
you.
That's hysterical.
That is. I'm sorry. But that is the funniest thing. When you sent me that, I almost died when I saw those pictures.
When I opened that yearbook, I'm like, I remember that one.
Well, put up your senior picture.
Okay. Because things did get better.
Look what happened.
Yes, so things got better. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good picture. I like that
You finally quit letting your mom get your hair cut.
Yes. No, I kind of did my own thing there. Grew my hair out. Okay, so let's see.
Oh my gosh.
Ty, there's one more picture back there that was in one of my old yearbooks, and it's with the Cabbage Patch Kids.
Oh, yeah.
Let's look at this. This is one of the only cool things that I found in one of my old yearbooks.
Yeah, and I can't believe you found that. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
The year of the Cabbage Patch.
Oh, look at that.
These are my school cooks, and they would bring their matching Cabbage Patch that matched what they looked like to school with them and set them on top of the little, you went through the line of food, and on top of the bar, they would have their Cabbage Patches sitting there, and every single little girl that went through with her tray would be like, I like your doll.
Oh, how
it's so
fun.
pretty. I like her dress. She looks really pretty today.
Do you remember what the Cabbage Patch names were?
Not theirs, no. But I had a Cabbage Patch doll.
I had a Cabbage Patch doll. My mom threw down Christmas time one time. My Cabbage Patch doll's name was Hope Hazel.
Oh, I had Amanda, and I had Claire. I had several of them. That's the only two that come to mind. But anyway, oh my gosh, do we have that's kind of the end of our pictures, I think. We need to wrap it up. We
Holy moly, what happened?
Rule to live by. Do we have one?
I do have a rule to live by. Goodness. Oh, here it's a good one too. You don't own all the problems of smile. You don't own all the problems of the world.
Oh, that's good. I don't own them. I want them. So.
I don't want the problems of the world today.
No, just let it go.
Yeah, let it go. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, so just smile. We talk about that all the time. Be happy.
Right.
Even when the clouds are out,
When the skies are gray.
When the skies are gray. Yeah. Put on a happy face. Yeah.
I think whoever wrote the rules to live by listened to that song maybe.
They had to.
What could my next rule be? Let me think of something. Oh, I know. Smile.
Smile.
Ignore the world's problems.
Everything's coming up roses. Literally, my roses are blooming. If you don't love this time of year, I think you're insane because everything's coming to life. It's beautiful. Smile. Just be happy. And even if you're not happy,
just fake it till you make it.
Just fake it till you make it. Smile when you're at Walmart. Just smile at people.
Yeah, it goes a long way.
It does. It does. You'd be surprised at what, and you're not responsible for what's happening in the world.
Yep. So anyway,
it's great. I can't believe our show is.
I know it went by so fast, but thank you all for bearing with us through all of the photos. We hope you enjoyed them, and we'll do some more if you have a great yearbook photo. Share them with us. Our email is with Beth and Stacey @gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook. But we've got to go.
We're done.
So bye,
God bless
everybody.
you. Bye bye.